Hi, I'm Candace.
And I'm Ripley.
And I'm John.
And this is Comicsplaining.
The show where...
You can't even say it!
You failed! You failed the opening!
the show where the stranger hits us right between the eyes.
Uh-huh.
It's a Billy
Sure.
Joel song.
Sure.
It was then I felt my lover, the stranger something.
Don't sing too much of that. You might get dinged on YouTube.
Oh yeah, because they were singing it perfectly.
It was then I felt the stranger hit me right between the eyes.
There was actually a case involving... God,
Don't be afraid to try again.
Alright, anyway, so...
Everyone go.
Hello! I'm back. My face is not exploding anymore.
It's impressive.
The surgery went well. They just kind of glued everything back together.
Yeah, you can hardly see the scars. They did a good job.
Uh-huh.
Don't talk about the scars.
No, they look great. They look great.
Don't talk about them.
They look really good.
Chicks dig them, so it's great. So we're finally back with Thor. That was a very long Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to be back. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, excited is a word.
Ah, that's a word.
I
yes.
mean, it looks like we got a pretty wild cast of characters here, so I'm intrigued.
Alright, well let's go ahead and read Thor number 178 from May of 1970. Written by Stan Lee, penciled by John Buscema, inked by Vince Colletta, and lettered by Artie Simek.
Okay, so, quick question. The stranger used to have pants, right?
Yeah. Also, I forgot to ask you guys, what happened last time?
There was a last time?
Look,
It was like a month ago.
it's been a while. It's been a while.
Look, I was having
It's been a
trouble
while.
with X-Men, but I got there eventually.
It's been a while.
Anyway, let me kind of synopsize. Odin went into the Odin sleep,
Right.
and they announced that to everyone that he was going to do that.
Oh wait, this had something.
Right, and Loki took over.
Yeah,
because
Loki
of
took over.
Odin's ring.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Thor's ass is backwards?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The surgery
Loki
went
took
okay
over.
on Thor as well.
Loki took over. They did steal Odin's ring while he was asleep
Yeah.
because the ring apparently means that you're king,
Suddenly,
I guess.
this has never been true before, but it's true
I
now.
remember Surtur was coming back, though I don't remember why, if he just suddenly started bubbling up or what.
Yeah, it was basically that. I mean, they didn't really explain it, but the idea that I get is that, like, the magic that Odin used to imprison Surtur had just, like, weakened to a certain point, or maybe because...
Maybe it doesn't work when he's asleep.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey Loki, get on that. You're good with magic, right?
So yeah, Odin was asleep.
You know, that would make sense why he announces it, though, because
Yeah.
it's like, shit's about to get real.
Right.
Okay.
And yet they didn't prepare for this at all.
Guys,
True.
all the load-bearing stuff I do is about to stop. I'm kind of load-bearing. It's all going to fall apart while I'm asleep, so...
Deal with that.
Yeah, have fun. I'm going to be asleep, and every bad thing that can happen probably will.
Yep.
It'll be good. It'll be great. It'll be fine.
Fantastic. So Odin was asleep. Loki took over. Surtur came back. Loki ran away. Thor and the rest of Asgard went to fight Surtur, and meanwhile, Baldur and Sif went to go find Odin because Loki had trapped Odin in
a pill capsule.
A pill capsule,
in the middle
yes.
of the dimension of fuck off.
Yeah.
The dimension of fuck off?
So they did that, but Baldur almost died, but then he
Yeah.
didn't because Odin brought him back.
Because the realm of fuck off gave him the suck.
Yeah. Gave him the epic suck. Lay epic suck. Anyway.
And the Nancy Reagan.
So Thor and the rest of Asgard basically held off Surtur long enough for Odin to come back and banish him again.
And take his load-bearing role again.
Yes,
It was shitty. It was a really shitty ending.
And that was it. So anyway, Thor number 178.
Wait, it wasn't as shitty as some of them have been because it was kind of earned. Okay. Thor 178.
Here we go. So with the battle won and Odin returned, it's time to do that other thing that Vikings are known for. Throw a hellacious rager until everyone passes out drunk on the floor.
But does Odin have his ring back, meaning he's actually in charge?
We're not going to mention it ever again.
That's a pretty good look for Odin, though.
The Allfather is announced and then walks across the room while everyone else yells about how cool he is, which isn't weird at all.
I mean, he did just save the day.
When he feels like he's soaked up enough praise, Odin orders everyone to sit down and enjoy the feast. They all do so, as food begins to circulate, but Sif thinks her man looks troubled still. When asked, he simply states that his hammer senses are tingling, and doesn't elaborate. Sif wonders if maybe he's worried about Loki, since not knowing where they are or what they're up to is usually bad. But no, it's not that. This trepidation gripping the Thunder God is far stranger than even his erstwhile sibling. On cue, we turn away from Thor's brooding, by Stan's own admission, and toward another section of space, where a meteor crashes down on an unfamiliar planet. But this meteor is actually the Abomination, fresh from his appearance in Silver Surfer number 12. If you're afraid you may be missing some context here, fear not, for Stan has helpfully synopsized the whole story for us.
In a single panel?
Three panels.
3 panels.
So
I guess a coven of witches summoned the Abomination, who was in exile on a distant planet, to fight the Silver Surfer for the lols.
Yeah,
They had a big
fucking
fight.
reason.
They had a big fight, but ultimately the witches sent Bommy back once he came, and Norrin was fine, I guess. And that's it. Give it up for Silver Surfer number 12, everyone.
Hey, Stan.
Okay, so, I really kind of hate these things where it's like, magic has deemed me to bring you together to fight, or technology has deemed me to bring you together to fight. It's like a really shitty, hackneyed reason for an issue.
I have my own problems. Hey, Stan, you shouldn't be able to synopsize an entire volume.
An issue in 3 panels.
Yeah, that's. Did you write that?
So
Tell me you didn't write that.
So what would you guys rate Silver Surfer number 12, since we just read the whole thing?
2 out of 5.
Yeah, that's getting a glorious golden 2.
So with the recap over, we find that the planet in question is actually a prison belonging to the Stranger. The whole planet is the prison, supposedly, but there's also a building in the distance that is the prison, so I'm not really sure about the logistics here.
Oh, no. This is the place he took Magneto. It's just, where he's got all his stuff.
Oh, that's right, Magneto was here.
Yeah.
So apparently...
Magneto was here.
It's got graffiti on the wall.
Yeah. Apparently Abomination was actually inside the prison, the building one, but has now been deposited outside of it, which he takes to mean that he is now free, even though we already went over that the planet is also the prison.
Well, it's very unclear what parts are and aren't the prison.
Exactly. Instead of going to find a way off this rock, Emil decides his best course of action is to infiltrate the Stranger's palace and kill him.
Okay. That's a choice.
Despite being a huge fish monster, he does manage to sneak in far enough to find his quarry, sitting in a scanner contraption, which he uses to find his next target. He notes that he could just throw a switch and teleport whoever it is to him, but he decides instead he's gonna go find them himself.
He wants to study his specimen in its natural habitat.
Its natural habitat, yeah.
It's sport!
So he gets up to go do that, while the Abomination watches from the rafters. Emil may have had designs on a sneak attack, but with a wave of his hand, the Stranger simply vanishes. Upon witnessing this, Bommy decides that he no longer wants to fuck with his captor. Just before he decides to find a new hiding spot, though, he notices that the scanner got left on. Apparently, what it does is it scans through all of space, showing a new scene every second. At complete random. just in case the stranger finds something that he's interested in.
Looking for cool new shit.
Wow,
Yeah.
he really is clicking through the channels, huh?
Yep. It happens to be showing a familiar scene right now, and Blonsky bumbles into a lever just as our very own God of Thunder flashes on screen, which, to his chagrin, instantly summons the Odinson into the room.
Oh, god damn it.
Thor is confused, as we can well imagine, and the Abomination sees an opportunity. He gives an answer to the Asgardians' question, stating that it was the stranger who summoned them both here to imprison and study them. Thor isn't quite convinced, but Emil is prepared for that. He leads his hapless rube to a window, through which they spy a collection of random aliens from across the stars, all held captive in this prison.
Well,
If he were smarter, Thor might question how the Abomination got out of this prison himself, or why he was hanging around the teleporter and the stranger was nowhere to be found. But he's not that bright, so he just gets real mad about people being enslaved and declares his intent to free them.
I mean, I think that's fair anyway.
it's not a bad thing to do.
Before Emil can do anything, Thor grasps the bottom of the wall and just crumbles it like tissue paper.
Well,
He's quite pleased with himself, but finds that his now rescued compeers are less thrilled, as destroying the wall has activated an alarm which immediately summons the stranger.
oh no.
Indeed, no sooner do they explain this than the man himself appears, all righteous indignation, that anyone would dare enter his compound and free his captives.
So he didn't sense the witches snatching the Abomination?
I guess.
And he didn't notice the Abomination entering into his compound.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that happened in Silver Surfer 12 and Stan just chose not to summarize it.
But he wouldn't do that.
Well, maybe because it was magic, he didn't notice it. Because it says specifically that the alarm is activated, like,
By force.
by the wall.
For some
basically.
reason, the wall breaking triggers
Yeah.
the alarm. I guess you never imagined someone would just sneak.
Well, the prisoners all begin to scramble away, but Thor would like to know just who this guy thinks he is.
He's kind of a big deal.
The Odinson makes the first move, but with a wave of his hand, the stranger turns the ground into quicksand, pulling Thor in. He's up to his armpits before you know it, but he's not concerned, as he whirls Mjolnir above his head. To fly out of the quicksand, you might think, but no, he just throws it at the stranger, and he dodges.
Good job. Good job.
Don't worry, because it flies right back and somehow lifts him out of the quicksand on the rebound.
Okay.
I just pulled him really good because he held on tight.
Yeah, I guess. Thor advances once more, and this time the stranger creates a host of duplicates, which each begin to grow before his very eyes.
Sure.
The golden-haired Avenger doesn't back down, though, striking the ground with enough force to shatter it and send the lot of them tumbling into a crevasse. The real stranger faces Thor across the gap, impressed, but showing no signs of concern over this display of power. Thor is feeling significantly less confident, though, as he realizes he knows literally nothing about this guy and the limits of his powers.
That's the first smart thing he's done this whole time.
So he decides he's just going to make a strategical retreat by Kool-Aid Manning through the wall and flying into the sky. You may be wondering, hey, what happened with that party Thor was just at? Well, you may be pleased to find that his disappearance did not go unnoticed. Odin is pretty miffed about it, actually, and when Sif asks for permission to go look for him, he gives it right away, which is uncharacteristic.
So we're going to see her get abducted. Okay.
The Odinson himself, meanwhile, lands some ways off from the stranger's palace and decides for the moment to go incognito. He transforms into Donald Blake because when you're on an alien planet, there is nothing less noticeable than a human man in a suit.
Who has a walking stick, yes. Yes, perfectly incognito.
He sets off for some recon, soon chancing upon a gathering of prisoners led by the Abomination. So, if you were thinking at any point that the stranger was the bad guy for capturing and imprisoning random people, then fuck you. Because actually everyone on his prison planet is a criminal who wants to escape to do space crimes, and therefore they deserve it.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they were probably like bodyguards for a rapper or something.
In this house, we respect the prison industrial complex and don't examine the sociological reasons why crime happens, and we love the taste of leather.
Stan, stop licking that boot.
Dawn sees these guys talking about how they're gonna escape to go do space crimes, and decides that the smart thing to do is to wade into the middle of the crowd and tell them that they're bad guys, and someone will be out there to stop them.
Okay, but like space crimes are kind of cool, right?
They are. In fact, they're going to be a major hallmark for many characters in the future that we are going to learn to love for a long time.
Everyone loves the lovable space rogue.
Yeah.
The goons knock him over into the mud, and then toss him to the Abomination, who steals his cane for some reason.
Dweeb!
He then tells the crowd to let him go because he's not worth the effort, and Don crawls away with his dignity in tatters. By this point, he's realized that he was misled. The stranger is the good guy, actually, just in case you were unclear.
I have doubts.
He hides behind some rocks and laments his predicament, wishing aloud that he could become Thor once more. Someone off-screen grants his wish, holding out the stick. Guesses?
Loki.
Sif.
It's Sif!
Hey!
Not Loki.
I saw her pink glove.
Apparently, she just went to the royal wizard and had him figure out where her man was.
Wow.
Thor is back, and just in time, as a group of goons spots the pair of Asgardians. Thor tells Sif to go back to Asgard because she's a woman, and she does, I guess.
But I am Thor, and I have spoke.
Uh-huh.
Woman, get back in the kitchen.
Hey-
Make me a sandwich.
Hey, Thor, now we know why you like the taste of boot.
He knocks back the advancing aliens with a single blow before being tackled from behind by the Abomination. The rest dogpile the Thunder God, trying to overwhelm him by force of numbers. He throws them all off and recovers in time to see a meal, booking it across the landscape. Not because of Thor, but because the stranger has caught up to them both.
Crap.
So, you notice we're on page 19.
Oh, no.
Now, with full knowledge of the situation, Thor doesn't really want to fight the stranger anymore. Whatever he is, he's too powerful an enemy, and the Odinson doesn't want to get the rest of Asgard involved. Thinking fast, he whirls his hammer as fast as he can, turning back time to the point where he first appeared on this planet.
I'm so glad that he can still do that.
God damn
Still
it!
time travel.
Stop! No! Bad! Bad Thor!
Fuck off, Stan. God.
So there
damn it.
There he is with Emil, who once again attempts to convince him to turn against their captor, but Thor has decided not to get involved in this bullshit, so he just knocks him out and throws him back in the cell.
Okay, I changed my mind. I actually like this ending.
He then returns to Asgard and makes out with Sif. The end.
I changed my mind. I like this.
I don't!
It is kind of funny.
Right. I was liking what Abomination was doing, trying to trick him into it. Like, I appreciated that. And then, I mean, I hate the time travel thing, but, like, if you're gonna do it, it wasn't a terrible way to do it.
So what would you guys rate that issue?
3.
0.
That's not an option.
Did it anyway.
Nope.
That
1.
seems...
I'm changing it to a 1.
Okay.
Unilaterally.
-1.
What do you guys think that's rated on CMRO?
I can
2.55.
I can see it.
It's at 1.94.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people are standing with me on the youch
Yeah,
side of things.
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't the worst thing.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, sure, it was fine. So, let's go to the next one.
Let us carry on.
Let us move on to Thor number 179 from June of 1970. Written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Vince Colletta, and lettered by Sam Rosen.
Huh. That's a cover.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm not loving Baldur's face.
It's fine.
Have we ever seen Baldur angry?
I feel like probably.
Like,
Yeah, I think we have.
Okay, how about murderous?
No.
No, definitely not.
Because Baldur's a good boy.
He's been upset. He's definitely been upset.
Oh, yeah, this was definitely Loki. Yeah, okay. That tracks.
Well, after that diversion that lasted a whole 20 pages for us, but less than 10 minutes in universe because of time travel, we are back to the victory party. It's still happening. This time Thor is leading the army of Asgard on a parade, I guess.
Wow, it's so quick it didn't even happen. It's like, if you missed an issue, you wouldn't notice. Because you wouldn't.
This statue's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a battle going on, and one giant warrior is got his spear driven into the ground, and he's like an arch over a giant walkway.
It is cool. They march past the destruction wrought by Surtur and toward the palace, where Thor leaves them to go talk to his dad. He gets a little bit distracted talking to Sif because he feels that his father is about to send him on yet another pointless mission that he says will take forever but only last for half an issue.
Which would be par for the course.
Odin interrupts them like the chaperone at a high school dance, and we cut away before hearing what bullshit he's going to say this time.
This was the style of the time.
Down on Earth with us, we find that Loki has not actually fled to another world, but actually procured a new evil lair in the form of a posh hotel penthouse. It's an upgrade. From which to hatch a new evil plot. Agron, the wizard. You remember Agron, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite character, Agron.
The Toad look-alike.
Yeah. So he's preparing a mystical potion at Loki's behest. Just as it's finished, room service arrives, wheeling in a cart of food prepared to Loki's exacting directions. It's being directed by the hotel manager, maybe? He's kowtowing pretty heavily, but the trickster doesn't have much patience for these mortals, and quickly pulls out a wad of cash from thin air before pushing the hotel staff out the door. Once they're out of the room, we find out that the money was actually an illusion, which will disappear once Loki's gone.
I'm shocked. Shocked that Loki's manipulating the economy like this.
You know, this is really simple, but I honestly love it, and I love how pleased they are with this trick.
I like it. I like the hustle game.
They turn back to Agron, who flips a switch on some kind of device, which bathes the room in a menacing light. Back on Asgard, Odad is dishing out his orders. The mission: go to your little brother's hiding place and convince him to come back here so I can put him in timeout. He zaps Thor down to Earth without any discussion. The Thunder God arrives in New York, and decides quickly on a course of action. Loki will be expecting him, so to catch them by surprise, he will transform into his mortal guise. I really don't get how this is supposed to help.
Right.
Thor can fly and do all kinds of magical shit, and Donna's just a physician with a limp.
And Loki knows exactly.
And besides,
Yeah.
Loki knows about
Who
his secret
Thor
identity, so it's flawed from the start.
Dumb bitch.
Well, Thor is only smart when he's fighting, and he's not fighting, so he's not smart.
He's tactically smart, but... In fact, Loki anticipated this exact thing, and is spying on Thor/Dawn from their hotel room. Agron presents himself to them, having fulfilled his purpose, and now expecting a reward. And indeed, Loki duly rewards him, with an all-expenses-paid trip to the scenic Troll Caves, where he will toil in the mines for eternity.
What a
That's not
gift.
a very good prize.
Was that what he wanted?
No. Clearly not.
Why not reward loyalty? Jesus.
No, because
Loki betrays everyone.
Loki is the god of evil.
Mm-hmm. Now alone, the Mischief Gods sheds their disguise, revealing a new fit. I don't think I like this one.
I'd like it better if it were contrasting.
It needs a better color set.
Yeah, I don't like it, and you can tell no one else liked it because I've never seen it again after this. They walk across town to Donald Blake's office.
Wow!
Straight up just walking down the street.
And not just walking, like prancing or something.
As they do so, they're thinking about how much the humans around them are scared and staring.
A fitting tribute to this, the essence of my even.
They're not scared, they just think you're dressed funny.
Which just reminds me of, like, an edgy teenager who thinks they're always the center of attention because they don't have a well-defined sense of self. Because, you know, when you're a teenager, like, teenagers don't fully understand that other people are other people. Anyway, they enter the office, expecting to find helpless Dr. Blake, but instead are greeted by Lucky Thor, waiting in the hallway. Thor might not be the brightest bulb in the box, but he grew up with Loki and knows their tricks.
Sometimes.
Or at the very least, he realized that searching for Loki as a weak human was a bad idea. Whatever the case, he's got them cornered and prepares to capture them in a sweaty headlock. But Loki holds up a case, out of which springs the thing that they had Igron create. The living mask.
Oh.
The mask leaps onto Thor's face, smothering him as he desperately tries to pry it off, until finally he slips into unconsciousness.
Okay, but what the fuck is this part? This is fucking weird.
Loki leans down over their defeated brother as a mystical energy lashes between them, engulfing both their heads. Now the magic is complete, and Loki removes the mask, revealing that Thor's face has become Loki's face.
Okay.
That's right. They swapped their faces.
What a plan.
Okay, wasn't that like a Nicolas Cage movie?
Yes. Oh, Face Off. What a movie.
To what end, you may ask?
I have no idea.
Well, the obvious answer is because with Thor's face, Loki now has control over Mjolnir.
Oh, what?
No!
That's not how that makes.
Of course!
That's not how any of this
Duh!
works.
How silly of you to not guess that.
See, my thought was that he was gonna go, like, break up with Thor's girlfriend and get him in trouble.
He can still, Loki can still do that, but this is dumb.
No. We all know that the inscription on Mjolnir says, "Whosoever holds this hammer, if he has Thor's face, shall possess the power of Thor."
Clearly, that's how the hammer works. I was talking about Calvin Ball earlier. Welcome to Calvin Ball, the professional sport.
Loki summons Mjolnir and sucker punches Thor into La La Land before switching their clothes to complete the despicable plot.
Why? Wait, why do you even need to do that when you can just illusion the clothes?
Right?
Meanwhile,
what the fuck is going on with
Meanwhile, Baldur the Brave lies recovering on Asgard.
You know, after the good suck.
After the good suck. Attended by a gaggle of old men bearing gifts and well wishes.
Yeah.
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Yeah.
Apparently.
He's grateful for their consideration, but really wants them to go away so he can sneak out and go find Thor. He says that he senses something is wrong, but I think in reality he's just tired of being treated like a kid with chicken pox.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he did almost die getting Odin back, but then Odin pumped life back into him, so I think he's probably fine.
He's a brave warrior.
Exactly. Anyway, he tells the group of grandpas that he's tired and pretends to go to sleep until they leave. Finally, he gets up and starts to put on his armor. Sif arrives just as he's finishing up. She acts surprised to see him up and about, but I get the impression that she expected this on some level, because the two of them quickly decide to rush off to where Thor is, without asking for Odin's permission.
Of course.
Thor awakens on the floor, dazed and feeling somehow different. He pulls himself up to look in the mirror, and is shocked to see Loki's face looking back at him.
Amazing.
This revelation comes only seconds before Baldur and Sif appear, because Stan remembered that she can teleport. The Thunder God feels the kindling of hope, but Baldur immediately draws his sword, believing him to be his evil sibling.
Of course.
He pleads with them to look beyond his appearance and just listen for a moment, but they aren't having any of it, as Sif cries out that he looks mad, and Baldur rebukes him with a punch. I'm not going to say anything about this immediate snap judgment and reaction, although I do feel like there is something to be said. Anyway, Thor moves to defend himself, hoping that Baldur will recognize him by his strength, if not his words. I mean, there's more to recognizing a person than their face and clothes. Like, his body is still the same, so in theory he should have the same voice.
You think
he should
so?
have the same speech patterns and hold himself the same way.
But
yeah.
Also, despite the fact that Jack draws them that way, I refuse to believe that Loki and Thor have the same body shape.
Yeah, I'm not liking how ripped.
I am personally a fan of Loki being twig thin, and I'm never going to accept muscle Loki, no matter how many times you force me to look at him.
Well,
agreed, and that might be what you weren't liking about his costume, because he was looking pretty ripped, at least partially.
No.
No?
No. Just the design and the colors are bad.
Alright.
And the hat's bad. So I just said I wasn't going to talk about their weird biases, and then I went on a rant about it anyway.
mm-hmm.
Back to the action. Sif lunges forward to defend Balder, and Thor is so horrified to be on the receiving end of her blade that he grabs her and pleads for her understanding. Balder is like, "Get your damn hands off her!" and comes back with the right hook.
Oh my god, Thor's watching it.
Somewhere undefined, Loki, in the guise of Thor, is watching this all on a TV and feeling quite amused with the resulting chaos.
So you wanted Mjolnir for pretty much no reason.
Well, regardless of who loses this fight, Loki is the ultimate winner. One of their enemies will be removed from play, while they are left to plunder Earth with the Thunder God's power and ruin his good name forever.
They'd plunder Earth anyway.
What do you plunder?
They climb out of the window and fly off of the city to wreak some havoc.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, this face is something.
Oh
this
god.
Face is something. Not your best work, Jack.
Jack,
Wow.
you melted Thor.
This kind of looks like melted wax.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can blame Vince for this. I don't know.
I don't know whose fault this is, but I'm not happy about it.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Also, he only has 3 fingers.
Well, the fourth one's hidden. He just has
It's not that
top
hidden.
weird.
He's
Shouldn't
got a
be that
melted
hidden.
face, and he's missing a finger.
Meanwhile, the fight between Thor and Balder has also exited through a window, as the former attempts to flee from this ill-fated confrontation. He jumps to a neighboring rooftop and runs under a neon sign, luring Balder into a trap. I guess Thor can now use Loki's powers
Sure,
for some reason.
why
What?
not?
Why?
Well,
Because-
because whoever has Thor's face can use Mjolnir,
And
so
whoever
whoever
has
has Loki's face
face.
can use Loki powers.
It's like those people who remember that lady who made herself look like a cat lady. Did she do that to get cat powers?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but probably.
So he uses magic to drain power from the sign and zap his pal. Unfortunately, he doesn't really know how to use magic, so he loses control and hits too hard.
Is that a Loki power?
It's magic.
Is magic
Sure.
a power? Because I feel like it's a trained skill.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's why
I
I'm like,
agree, but whatever. When the dust settles, Balder lies motionless on the ground. Thor rushes to his side, lamenting the cruel twist of fate that brought them here. He fears for Balder's life, knowing that he was recovering not so long ago. He swears an oath to make Loki pay for what they've done, just as Sif arrives, blade in hand. She sees her fallen comrade, and Thor cries out that it was his hand that did the deed. Yet, apparently, Balder lives, and recovers pretty fast.
Well, yeah, because...
He's invulnerable.
Yeah.
The two realize now that Thor was telling the truth. Loki would have struck to kill, and wouldn't have been sorry about it.
Struck to kill. That he wouldn't have killed because it's Balder.
Right. So unless this is the performance to end all performances, this can't be Loki. Thor is unimaginably relieved to see his friend still lives, and even more relieved that they are once again on his side. So what did you guys think of that? Reading this, I really feel like they wanted to do a body swap, is what they wanted to do, or like a power swap, maybe.
Right?
And what they came up with is switching their faces for some reason.
Because we just established, like, a couple issues ago that no one can swap bodies with Thor.
No, yeah, that's true.
I didn't necessarily hate it, but it was really stupid.
Yes, it was dumb, but at least it didn't end with time travel that solves everything.
Not
yet.
I'll give it a 3. Fuck it, I'll still give it a 3.
I'm gonna... a 3, but if this ends dumb, we're going back to Zero Town.
Zero is not permitted.
I'll also give it a 3. It's silly comic time. What do you guys think this is rated on CMR?
I
don't know. 2.25.
2.75.
Ooh.
You were close.
They like this more than they liked the last one.
Next, we're gonna go to Thor number 180.
Alright. We're fucking flying today. Not Stan's best work, but
No.
fast moving. We've done this title before. When gods go mad, I've seen this.
This is the thing about Thor, is that a lot of the time the titles get reused, and I haven't ever gone through to, like, confirm that any of them have been reused, but I'm positive. Like, Ragnarok and Roll definitely gets used at least 3 times.
If you searched it on CMRO by using the search bar, I'm sure it'd pull up every story called Ragnarok and Roll.
It would be incredibly funny if we could do a tier list of reused titles.
We'd have to keep track for a while, but I'm sure we'll eventually work up a...
So this issue came out in July of 1970. It was written by Stan Lee, penciled by Neil Adams, inked by Joe Sinnott, and lettered by Sam Rosen. I also see that the cover art was by Marie Severin.
Wow.
So
Nice.
that's cool.
I'm looking forward to Neil Adams.
We are really leaving some old names.
Oh yeah. Still got Stan on though.
yeah, but we're really switching up some of these names.
Yep, we're moving into the 70s.
Loki, impersonating Thor, stands on a street full of startled civilians, whirling Mjolnir at their side. They toss it through a passing semi, sending the truck careening towards the sidewalk. Then they jump in front of it and easily stop its momentum, crumpling the entire engine block and making the driver shoot straight through the windshield.
Power such as mine has little meaning unless it can be brazenly flaunted.
The driver somehow lands unscathed and runs away, which isn't terribly realistic.
Mm-hmm.
He stuffed the fucking landing.
Right?
I'm starting to think about how bad this plan actually is.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Too late.
The Mischief God revels in the destruction for a moment before a beam of energy catches them off guard. It's Thor and his buds, here to stop Loki's reign of terror before it goes too far. Loki throws Mjolnir at him, but he jumps over it, issuing a challenge.
Okay, question. So if the Circus of Crimes Thor impersonator just did crimes with Thor's face, would people also think that was Thor?
Probably.
We can make Thor a villain.
Sif and Balder reiterate that Loki is pretending to be Thor, as if they didn't already realize it last issue. So, Odin just got told by one of his wizards that Loki has been found.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, this page is awesome.
That is some art.
Neil Adams, motherfucker.
Oh, wow, we really are in the 70s. Holy crap.
My dude is back.
Like, the shading?
Nice.
Including the shading on the guy in the background? Like, there's actually a light source in this room.
Hell yeah, I'm into
Odin.
it. I'm loving it. We've got a background. I'm into it. Alright, what we got?
If Thor found Loki, then why didn't he bring them to me right away? Odin asks. The wizard informs him that they're fighting now, because obviously Loki wasn't going to just go without trying any shit.
We are continuing on ruining Thor's reputation, as I predicted.
Okay,
yes.
The words, they don't line up with the quality of the pictures.
No.
I'm sorry, Stan,
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Impatient as ever, the All-Father moves to observe this situation for himself. This page is also gorgeous.
Yeah. This is what Asgard should fucking look like, man.
He goes up to one of his crystal balls, where he sees Thor and Loki fighting, and is apparently upset that Loki is resisting Thor's will. Enraged, he declares that Loki will resist no more.
Oh no.
And
Why not just beam them both back? You're mad at Thor, too.
And shoots out a blast from his scepter. The fight is abruptly cut off as Thor simply begins to fade away, and then disappears in a beam of light. Loki gloats over this monumental success. They actually planned for this, knowing that Odin would blame Loki and not take the time to find out what's going on.
Well, because Odin is kind of a terrible father.
Kind of makes snap decisions sometimes. Now Thor is gone, and the other two have no hope of stopping them either. So Thor, in the body of Loki, or the face of Loki, I suppose, is chained and sentenced without being able to offer a defense. In fact, when he tries, Odin gags him and then makes a dramatic speech about how ashamed he is. Then, even more dramatically, he condemns Thor to Hades. And we will see what that means later, I guess.
Okay.
But also more important, did Odin dab?
Yeah, he did. Yes, Odin dabbed.
Thou hast turned the love in a father's heart to cold, unfeeling stone.
Dab.
Loki is continuing to stir up trouble on Earth. Now that Thor is gone, they are free to cause whatever ruckus they please.
Oh.
And they do so with gleeful abandon.
Hey, Sif, you can fucking teleport. Just go back to Asgard and tell Odin what the fuck is going on.
They whirl Mjolnir wildly, whipping up a storm of epic proportions. Balder and Sif alone oppose the god of evil, and they rush through the maelstrom to do so, but are quickly rebuffed. Loki gets really weird about Sif again, and I'm not going to dwell on it. Balder uses the Odin power in his enchanted sword to send her back to Asgard, so we don't have to deal with that anymore.
Oh, thank God.
Why did Balder do that? Why does not Sif do that?
Because that would require Sif to be competent in a pinch.
Loki punches Balder again and calls him cringe.
He is.
For waltzing off into the city to do more damage. Sif appears in Asgard, asking the royal vizier about the whereabouts of her beloved. The vizier says he's only seen Loki. But don't worry, he's already been sent to a place that's completely inescapable, so he won't bother us again.
So the plan worked.
Oh yeah. Rousing success. Sif makes to go talk to Odin, but the vizier stops her, knowing what kind of mood the Allfather is in. Apparently he's brooding on fucking Galactus again.
Not again!
Fucking damn it.
God knows that's going to send us on a 10-issue trip to find some absolute bullshit.
I wish we'd have a 10-issue stretch of something focused with a conclusion that's satisfactory.
You think the Galactus story was satisfactory?
No!
That's what I was referencing.
But I want something with an actual end.
The vizier ushers Sif to a viewing crystal, where he conjures an image of the perfidious Loki in a burning realm. Sif throws herself on the floor, crying in agony, for in reality it's Thor who has been sent to... Guesses?
Hades.
The realm of Mephisto!
Okay.
So actual hell.
That's right, Odin sent him to Christian hell.
Odin?
So we have
Sir.
a weird double page here. It doesn't match up.
Yeah, they didn't scan it fully well.
Yeah, it's not really great. Anyway, Mephisto is here, and he has been expecting Loki for some time. The Demon Lord apparently considers Loki something of an equal, despite never having met before, and urges them to join him in sin for all eternity. So, you know.
Wow, moving fast.
Moving fast.
Hey, sometimes when you know you found the perfect person for you, you move really, really fast.
I mean, as I've said before, it's not like I ship Loki and Mephisto, but like, you know.
Mephisto ships Loki and Mephisto, so,
However, being that this is actually Thor, the invitation is less than appreciated. In fact, Thor recoils from Mephisto's touch, shoving him away. The devil is seemingly burned by the power of goodness within the Thunder God, and immediately discerns the truth.
Pain such as only the power of good can inflict upon one who is monarch of evil.
Wow.
Thor declares that he will not be kept here, but in this place, the devil has all the cards. Mephisto transports Thor to the Garden of the Gleaming Globules of Madness.
Sure.
Okay.
Where there are a bunch of globs that are filled with stuff.
Cool.
One of them, this one, is filled with
Bees.
liquid life.
Oh, what?
It falls on him, and
He got splashed with a boatload of cum.
Yeah.
I wasn't telling me.
I wasn't going to say it. It's the 70s, everybody. Welcome to the 70s. Standards have changed.
Well, Mephisto was preparing to invite him to an eternity of sin, so...
I guess you got the sin.
That includes Bukkake.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Stan, was this what you were intending?
Definitely.
So, one of the globs falls on him, and he is instantly encased in a flow of soulless existence, which grabs him and forces him down.
Sure, that's what that is.
But he's
elemental.
I hate you. But he still has Loki's magic, because powers are transferred by facial features.
Yes.
And he frees himself with a blast of energy.
You know, the devil can see Thor inside of Loki's face.
Yeah.
But Thor still has Loki's power. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
It's fine.
This all makes so much fucking sense.
So much sense.
This
all
is the worst game of professional Calvin Ball I've ever watched.
Another globule falls, this one releasing a monster that kind of looks like a shitty T-Rex.
Yeah, that is that.
Thor laments these circumstances for a moment, almost giving into despair before coming back to himself and resuming the fight.
It has death rays.
Let's leave him to it and check up on the boys.
The boys?
The Warriors 3 are busy fighting a bunch of trolls. Somewhere. Not sure where, but it's somewhere with a chandelier because Fandral is swinging on it.
Because of course he is.
Of course he is. If Fandral is going into a place with a chandelier, you know he's gonna be swinging on that motherfucker.
Just like, you know, if Fendral's going on to a place with a table, this bitch is standing on the table sword fighting.
Oh
someone.
yes, obvious.
He likes being tall.
Why is Fandral on the table?
This
Anyway.
reminds me of Wolverine standing at the top of the fucking stairs.
He also likes being tall.
From the middle of the horde, Hogan calls to Volstagg, who makes to descend some stairs to join his companions. From behind him, a troll strikes the top of the steps with an axe, splintering them and sending the Lion of Asgard falling into the fray.
He's looking girthier than usual, but in a good way.
Yeah.
He's, grown.
They all have some friendly banter before making a getaway down a nearby corridor. However, they come up short as someone else issues a challenge. Guesses?
Ulick?
I have no idea.
Ulick was
It's
the troll,
Sif again!
right?
Oh.
She's here to recruit them to go save her man.
Yeah, yes, that tracks.
They agree immediately, of course, and all four return to the Vizier, who has now been filled in on the facts.
Hogan
We are on
does
page 19.
Hogan
Oh,
does appear
no.
to be living up to his name. He's Hogan the Grim right now.
Yeah. On a viewing screen, they all watch Loki, in the guise of Thor, wreak havoc on Earth. Still, Odin is busy having his scheduled brooding session, so they can expect no help from him, says the Vizier. But are the Warriors 3 to wait while evil flourishes unchecked? They say thee nay! They and the Lady Sif will go to free Thor, and then see to Loki's just deserts. Hogan entreats the Vizier to send them to him, and he puts on something called the Odin helmet, which teleports them, I
what
guess.
does it-
What?
So is this like a helmet that gives him Odin power?
I don't
fuck?
know. They appear in Hell, wary and uncertain, only to be greeted by a gateway in the shape of Mephisto's mouth, cackling gleefully.
I'm not into Vor.
They are all quite taken aback by this, but the real Mephisto appears behind them, offering an apology for his tasteless prank.
Apparently,
Are you good?
Apparently, he's pranking them with Vor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
yeah.
a prank, bro.
It's just a prank,
And they
unless you're
come
into it.
upon Thor.
No! You're skipping ahead.
Okay.
He knows what they seek and gestures for their attention, but it's too late. The Thunder God has already been defeated, and now stands encased in...
A cumsicle.
I knew you were gonna say that, fuck!
my God. So this is what happens when we reach the 70s. Okay! Stan, your writing is...
That tracks.
Your-
That tracks.
Yes, Stan's writing is Stan as ever, but
Evolving with the times.
actually, no. His writing is Stone Age, but the art is making this unintentionally hilarious.
So what did
Okay.
you guys think of that issue?
3, I'd rather continue a plot than have it suddenly fucking wrapped up, so I'm down with that.
I'm giving this a 4 because this is the dumbest shit ever. and the artists clearly get that it's dumb. Look, until now,
I'm into it.
Stan's writing has been taken so seriously that
You know, I actually kind of like Stan's silliness juxtaposed onto Neil Adams' art because it almost feels like leaning into it.
because before Stan's writing was just taken too seriously. this is dry, boring comic books. This is a cumsicle. Mephisto's realm with a giant mouth. We are going to drop a mysterious thick white liquid onto Thor. What could that possibly be?
I'm gonna give it a 4, mostly for Neil Adams.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
book is gorgeous.
Neil Adams makes this thing.
For sure.
We have a mere 12 issues of Stan left, which means 4 episodes.
It's close. We're getting there.
Are we going to be ending this with Neil Adams doing the art?
I
No.
doubt that.
Damn it!
I feel like he was just a stand-in.
That would have been so good. It's a shame.
Anyway, we, since we're running pretty short here, we're gonna briefly, I guess, discuss the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Kind of sprung that on y'all, sorry.
Well, they
I just
really...
thought
I
we were
figured
coming
we
up
were going to
short.
talk about it.
They really made it easy to play the, what is it called?
It's a perfect corny Christmas special.
No, the thing, the Kevin Bacon game.
Yeah. Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, how many steps does it take to
They
connect
just rigged the game.
most
sure.
of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, I was into it. It was very corny, but it was leaning into it, so that was okay. Lots of new Christmas songs, which was nice. I get sick of all the same Christmas songs, so we got new Christmas songs, so that was cool.
I liked it. It was cheesy and fun and cute.
They kidnapped Kevin Bacon!
And it had a heartwarming ending.
It did.
Yes, it turns out Yondu's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And Peter has... spoilers. Spoilers. Peter has Mantis' his sister, which I guess it does track once you say it.
I never really thought about where Mantis came from.
I mean, Ego created her, right?
I guess they did say that, didn't they?
Yep, they did, and Mantis is better than she was.
Oh, she's so much better now. They fixed her.
She does kung fu now again. She's a martial arts master.
And she's not an idiot.
Yes.
I mean, any more than Drax is an idiot.
No, I feel like she was definitely smarter than Drax.
Okay, yeah, she's smarter than Drax. It's not that hard to
It's
be
not.
smarter than Drax.
It's not. No,
Well.
she was a badass, and
She made people give her money.
she did.
It was fun. I guess there's not really all that much to say.
It's not a
Not
huge,
really.
deep thing, but it's a decent time.
It's a
you have
fun
access
watch.
to it.
I was kind of hoping for it to be like a really bad like riff on the Star Wars holiday special, but I'm not disappointed with what I got.
I don't think they actually want to make a bad one, because you know the Star Wars Holiday Special, they tried to make something
See,
good.
you say that, but I didn't do it this year, but I watched the Star Wars holiday special like once every year.
The thing about the Star Wars Holiday Special, as far as I know, they tried to make something good and just failed.
Yeah, but I don't really care. What's that matter to me?
Well, what I'm saying is, if they're trying to riff on the Star Wars Holiday Special, then they would have to go out of their way to make something bad?
I disagree.
You think the Star Wars Holiday Special could be good?
No, I think that if they were trying to riff on that, then they would be trying to do something good.
I think that works.
I don't think you work.
Not at the moment. What's your point?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for us this week. Coming up a little short, which is surprising because we had 3 fucking issues, but they all kind of booked it along.
Yeah, I kind of went fast there.
You
Well,
want to
then
get...
not all that much really happened.
Exactly.
And do more things happen when Stan leaves?
I'm sure.
We'll see.
I feel confident that it does.
Who replaces Stan as writer?
Jerry Conway.
Anyway, we're going to be back at you next week with the X-Men. In the meantime, shoot us an email if you want. Check out Mephisto's Kinks over with us on YouTube, where you can see Mephisto's sperm sickle.
And you can see his Vor joke.
Yep, so like, subscribe, smash the bell button, comment, that's all cool. You want to check us out over on social media? We are on Tumblr, so far, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
We're on Twitter for the moment.
Yeah.
For as long as Twitter exists or is not entirely...
Absolutely overrun by Nazis.
I was going to say not entirely offensive, but, same thing.
Anyway, if you'd like to support the show, you can support us over on Patreon, where you can get a hold of our bonus-odes. We are currently plotting out our bonus-ode for December.
It apparently has something to do with Santa Claus.
It does indeed. We're keeping it seasonal.
That just makes it more cursed.
Rate and review us over on your podcatcher of choice. Join us over on Discord. And other than that, we'll be back at you next week, and we look forward to talking to you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.